Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the in this video, we're going to be discussing the 19. For the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing the 1958 science fiction horror film, The Fiend Without A Face. Of course, this is one of those horror films from the 1950s. It was a science fiction horror genre, which was prevalent in the 1950s. With all these crazy monster movies and those crazy science fiction elements to them. And this one is no different. But I think this was The Fiend Without A Face is definitely one of the better ones. Compared to some of the other crappy ones that I've been reviewing lately. Because this movie is set in Canada. You know, I believe this movie was actually filmed in England. But it was supposed to be the setting for the movie is supposed to be based in Canada. But the United States Air Force has a army base there. And they're using a new radar system that is powered by atomic energy. So the people who live, it is a pretty remote section of Canada, supposedly, and they are people who live nearby the base were a little worried about the possible atomic fallout. Well, you have to understand this is the 1950s, and a lot of people were worried about atomic fallout with nuclear radiation and the atom bombs and nuclear bombs. Those storing, this was at the height of the Cold War, so they're worried about possibly a nuclear fallout or a atomic fallout in some capacity. So the local people, local residents, they wanted to have this atomically powered radar system to be shut down, and the army is trying to reassure the people, look, it's okay, it's no problem, we have it all under control, don't worry. He said, don't worry, it's be all right, and all this stuff. So what happened was, there was a local professor who was pretty much a recluse, who wanted to increase his brain power. So he figures that using the atomic radiation from this new radar system from the army base could help him increase his brain power, and so he could move stuff with his mind. So he won't have to, get up from his chair and do normal routine activities, plus whatever research that he was, into. So he was trying to get whatever atomic energy from the base as he could, from the air, to do this. And as he did that, he created this invisible fiend. So 3/4 of this movie, you don't see this fiend going around attacking the local town people, and they go, it's like almost like pantomiming almost. And they all get choked to death, and they all pass out, and they all get killed by strangulation. And what they did the autopsy, they noticed that 2 small puncture holes in the base of the skull, and they did a further examination of some of the bodies, and they realized that the brain is gone, as well as the spinal column are gone in each one of the bodies. So they figured that this fiend that was created out from the professor's mind was sucking out the brains of the spinal column of these people, and then eventually and gain so much energy from the atomic radar system the army has, that it created this whole thing, and all you see are the brains and the spinal columns from all the people that were killed already in this film, running around. All the brains are like crawling all over the floor, flying through the air, attacking. And that was like the real cool part of the movie. It's almost like a zombie attack almost, with the brains and the spinal columns jumping on people's faces, on top of the people's heads, behind the neck. That was really the fun part of this movie. The lame how creature was created. I thought it was kind of lame. I thought it wasn't really explained that well. I mean, it was explained, but it wasn't explained properly. I mean, at least so that the common viewer of this film could understand it. But regardless, it was really a crazy ass thing, and but the special effect was like a stop motion animation, in terms of with the creatures attacking people. I thought that was really really cool, and of course the army wins out. Big shock, or at least one of the two armies soldiers that were alive by the end of this film, survived it and won. And of course, it gets the hot girl at the end, which is the most famous scene in this movie, which was actually in the original movie posters, was the girl in the towel, and you only see her for like a few seconds in the towel because she was in the shower. She had the towel wrapped around herself, and you only see her in the towel for like maybe not even a minute on screen, maybe 30 seconds at most, but you see her in the towel, and that's on the image of the poster. But regardless, I think this was a pretty fun movie to watch. I mean, it's not much for me to say about this movie, except for the fact that it's one of the better. I mean, I really enjoyed watching this movie because I think it was really cool, really creepy. It gives out the suspense because sometimes in a movie like this, you usually see the monster really, really early on in this film, and people are trying to figure out how to beat this monster, and then you don't see the monster and you don't know what. You kind of went to like the last third of the film, which makes it a better horror film than seeing the monster about halfway through the movie, and then they see the second half of the film trying to stop it. The last third of the movie is when you actually see the Fiend Without A Face, and you see the main characters trying to beat this monster. And I thought that's what makes a better movie. You don't see it till like the last third of the film, in my opinion. That makes it a better, more enjoyable film than some of the other, except for maybe possibly the possible long exception is the Universal horror films, where you see the monster almost within like the first 20 minutes of the film, and then the rest of the movie you try to see to stop the monster. This time, it took the opposite approach, which is, better, a better film for me. So that's my review of the movie The Fiend Without A Face. Please click on the video, please read it, please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com, so WDY, rallyc.com is the homepage and rally reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.